Why do you think the conversation about God hits different when people are on their deathbed or threatened in a life situation? Why does the conversation or the subject about God hit different for them? You know,
How many people you spoke to? The next thing you know, they dead. That happened to my homie. I was on the phone. I called him. He was supposed to come pick me up. On the way to come pick me up, that fool, he went on another little side road. He went to go do something else real quick. Yeah, ended up getting hit 120 miles an hour. Never, you know what I mean? Never was able to speak to him again. That's just things that I've experienced in my life to tell me, like, okay, time ain't promised. I mean, like, time don't wait for no man at all, period.
For real.
Doesn't matter who you are, where you are, just it's your time, it's your time. You put yourself in a position, that's on you.
what's up, guys? Welcome to the Minutes with God Community Network podcast. I got a couple of the homies here at the house. We're just in studio today, and we're just going to talk about just the random. Got Mario here to my left. What up? What up?
Nice.
Brother Rob right here.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on?
Mario came home not too long ago, so we thought we'd give him the text message test, because I don't even think I got all these down. Let us know in the comments if you have any of these down. But so let's start off with some easy ones. Can you tell me what LOL is?
Laugh out loud.
Laugh out loud.
Yes, sir.
This one says, according to the ESL Buzz, it says lots of love / luck. Laughing out loud, though. Laughing out loud.
What the heck?
Okay, what about MSG?
MSG.
Man, it sounds like a gang or something.
You
Huh?
gonna think someone banging on him if you say that?
On me, what the heck?
MSG.
MSG. Message back.
Message. It's just message,
Oh,
yeah.
message.
Just a message.
Oh, MSG.
Yeah, MSG.
I was thinking something else.
Yeah. What about THX?
Thanks.
Thanks. All right, cool. We got some of the simple ones. Tonight, that one's easy. What about BBL?
What?
BBL.
BBL? That does not sound right. BBL? I don't know. I never heard that
That one's Be Back Later.
Oh, be back later. Okay,
Yeah.
I ain't heard that one.
Did Rob even know that? Let's throw some to Rob.
Let's throw some to Rob.
I'm not really.
Come on, he over there looking like he won't be in this.
Yeah, he trying to get a head start looking over here at the screen and stuff.
Can't be cheating, bro.
What about ILU?
I don't even really. I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't think
I'm not on my phone, but I'm on my phone. You know what I mean?
I'm on my phone. Yeah. So I'd be like, huh?
He loves you.
No, I love
I
you.
love you.
I'd be confused.
He definitely don't be saying that stuff, huh?
Hell no.
ILU.
Yup.
All right, so this might be outdated. I wonder how long ago this was. What about KIT? KIT. I've never heard anybody use this before. KIT.
Again, I would have no idea because I'm on my phone, but I'm not on my phone.
Keep in touch.
Oh, keep in touch. But is it abbreviated or is it just spelled as the word kit?
Just spelled as KIT.
Oh,
yeah,
see, it's gonna be kinda
KIT.
hard.
According to this, what about XOXO? Man, that's middle school.
Right. Everyone
You know,
had
you-
that.
Well, I don't know. I wasn't fortunate enough to get those messages.
Not even
Nah,
the
just
letter.
like-
The letter didn't even say
yeah,
XOXO.
that's all it
Okay, yeah.
But, oh man,
Hugs and kisses. Yeah.
I always never knew what they meant anyways. I just threw it away.
Right, for real.
Like, is she playing tic-tac-toe with me?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Tic-tac-toe.
Who's playing
I had to count
tic-tac-toe
the
with
X's
me
and
right
the
now?
O's. Oh, she won.
Oh, she won.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right, let's see. Look, man, they got some crazy ones out here.
Man, they got so many of those.
What's the craziest thing that you've seen since you've been home, bro?
The craziest thing that I've seen since I've been home, man, honestly, I don't know, because it's just the way the crazy thing to me is how many homeless people is over there now.
Oh, the homeless rate?
Yeah, like, that wasn't like that when I left. It was bad. And it's not bad, like,
For this city.
yeah, for this city, it's
Yeah,
crazy
yeah.
because they're all right where the shelter used to be.
Yeah, for real.
And, like, there's no shelter now. So it's like, what are people doing for that?
Bro, I felt
So we tried to do something with that, me and Jonathan, and whoever had it just mess it up for real, bro. 'Cause I had that in my heart too when I came over on this side.
Yeah.
And let's start. It was nothing, bro. Whoever had it messed it up so bad that whatever money they were gonna give us, they were like, it's gonna take that to fix it. So, as we started just buying our own little food and just
the thing about those buildings, though, those buildings down there, a lot of those buildings where they have those people crammed up at, those are all historic buildings.
Yeah.
That's so true. It is gonna take a lot more money to get them into the proper living shape, you know.
Oh yeah, but whoever had it made it worse than what you're saying would be. So it was like that we had a walkthrough, bro. They put holes in there. They cut all the cords, the wiring. We had to do all that. So it would take all that to fix. So
that's why you reach out, bro.
Yeah, but you know what trips me out is like sometimes some of these, like if you talk to some of these homeless people, it's like, and I'm not knocking on homeless people. Like I love homeless people. I love all people. But the thing that trips me out is that like you get these homeless people from like different states, like from like a whole nother side, like it's a career thing for them. And like, I don't know why it's a career thing for homeless people to do that. Matter of fact, I was talking to somebody at work about, I was like, what's your perspective on, helping homeless people? And, dude told me straight up, he said, well, he's like, how much do you want to enable them? And like, again, I'm not knocking on homeless people, but I wonder like what, and I know like as talking from a church perspective, like we're really giving people, and we would like to give the shirt off our back, and we would like to provide food and stuff. But my perspective has always been that, well, if you give them something, but you don't do it in the name of Jesus, or you don't have some kind of talking structure or conversation with the person, like, are you doing any good? Or are you just enabling people? I don't know. What's your guys' take on homeless people?
I have nothing against them. I believe they all need help because in somewhere, some form, they went through something that put them in a state of, I can't do it.
Right. I believe that too.
You know, and it's not that they want to be in that position. It's just in their mindset and their feelings and emotions, that's what's comfortable for them.
I don't know. I try to put myself in a homeless situation. What would I do? What would Ricky Lopez do if I was homeless? And then, like, think about that for a second. What would you guys do if you were homeless? Like, it came to it. Would it be alcohol, or would it be a drive to, like, find some kind of shelter for your possessions and then try to get, like, a job, maybe shower in the alley or look for an assistance? Because I think places like homeless shelters, those are supplemental solutions. They're like certain. But what would I do? Like, me personally, man, that's crazy. Like,
I think it just depends on your circumstance. It's hard to put yourself in that position.
Yeah, for real, because some people may not have
that mindset.
Have nothing.
Yeah.
Then it makes it worse. Then what?
But it all comes down to what caused that person to want to be out there like that without having to do for themselves. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It is hard to put yourself in a position of thinking like that, but at the end of the day, we all don't know what that person went through to put them in that position they're in now.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that they don't deserve any help. You know what I'm saying? Everybody deserves some kind of help or some kind of talk. But if they're willing to listen or willing to understand, that's the difference. Because some of them ain't.
Yeah, for real. You know? I agree with that. I know some people do want to just live like that. The hatchet dude, the dude that smash. You know,
there's some people that like it.
They made a documentary. They asked him, "Where's your home?" He's like, "Right here, the land of the free."
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
And so that I know that dude was one of those guys to the exception. But I don't know. I always just felt to like, I don't know if I ever became a nonprofit to help homeless people, I would
something to look into.
Yeah, I would like want to help them like also find like a job and make something like a holistic kind of situation.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So
just gotta have the person that's willing to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure half of those people, if not more than half of those people that are out there, will take advantage of that to do better. Look, you see how they set up their little area?
Yeah.
Looks just like a home.
No, yeah, exactly.
Straight up.
That's
tents.
a community.
Right.
Yeah,
Community.
That's a little community, bro. But they just don't have the benefits of the people that are actually in the community.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you see where their mind's at just by how they're living. Like, they go eat, they go do what they do, clean up after themselves. So it's not like they want to be totally like, you know what I mean? out there living.
Thinking back on scripture, how do you guys think Jesus would do? WWJD. What would Jesus do?
Well, it goes
I know
back,
that
it goes
one.
back, it goes back to what you
WWJD. Right?
said.
Yeah, I know that one.
I know
too,
that
right?
one.
But it goes back to what you said. That's that 1 Corinthians 13. That without love, then you can't do nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just think you gotta show love in everything you do for them. For some of them, just gonna think you just
Faking.
yeah.
You're just doing it because you want to do it,
Right.
not because the love's there.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean? It just
Right.
I mean, majority of the time, like if you're familiar with the Bible, shoot, you could label God homeless. He had nowhere to lay his head.
I was thinking about that.
I was thinking about that.
I was thinking about that too.
You
Like,
could label him.
He was on the move.
was Jesus
But that's the
homeless?
thing, though. He was on the move, but what are these people doing? They're on the move.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're on the move, too. God was always on the move, whether it was from city to city. He never stopped and slept in a bed. He never had a set place to lay his head.
Yeah, but Jesus was like on the move with like a holy mission.
Yeah, but we don't know. Because
People
they say you never know who you're entertaining. An angel,
Because you might be entertaining
Right.
an angel. Some have entertained angels.
You never know.
Yeah, that's what it
Yeah.
says.
you never know who the homeless people are.
Bro, I told you this dude knew some of the Bible.
Man, he was just probably holding out because
He was holding out, huh?
Because it's me.
He was holding out. It's coming out. See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't hold out for the time that need you.
Hold out. Hold out. All right. So that's cool, man.
I mean, but that's the craziest thing I've seen, man, honestly, because like the homeless rate was not that bad, but at the end of the day, it's not a bad thing. It's just showing me which way direction this world is going. And it's
Yeah.
getting a little out of hand because it might not even be that they won't be homeless. It's just what's floating around out here feeding these people. If you guys understand what I'm saying without
Oh,
me
yeah, I
saying what
do.
I'm saying. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
at the end of the day, that's always going to be there. They've been fighting that battle since I was born, you were born, our parents were born. So
Yeah, for real.
ain't nothing's going to change that.
Yeah, okay. So since you've been home, the homeless thing has probably been the most crazy thing.
Yeah, I mean, I just haven't seen nothing like that before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I went to Cali, man. We have like a little thing out here, but man, in Cali it's crazy. And then down in Tucson too, like they're knocking out whole parks.
Yeah.
And like, so I mean, it says something about the climate, so something's going on. I just don't know exactly, everybody's story to like fully comment on the situation,
Right.
but it's a good thought for people that are like considering to do missions out there and help homeless people.
Yeah,
Word.
that's where I've been at. That's what
Yeah.
I've been doing. Me and Jonathan go out,
Yeah.
give water, sandwiches. Just try to be an ear.
That's good, man. Some
Just
people.
listen. Some people just want to just talk, bro, for real.
Yeah.
Some people are comfortable. They just want to talk.
Right.
They don't care what you. They just want to, hey,
Have a conversation.
just let me get this off my chest.
You know?
Right.
And you can see a big difference when they feel more.
More up.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I do. I just be out. You know that I be out.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's solid. All right, what do you guys think? Let's dive into a little bit of some spiritual talk. What do you guys think about what the Bible says when it says, all right, so in Matthew, the Bible says, for what does it profit a man to gain the whole world but yet lose his soul? What do you guys think about that?
It's deep, but it's true though. Especially if you're from the street, you give everything for that and gain nothing.
Yeah. Bro, stronghold for me when I was living in the streets was shoes.
I didn't care about shoes. I had that. Mine was just after a while I could see I was hurting the people I care about the most. I didn't really care for I was like, man, I'm losing family members, not homies at this point. I'm losing. That's when it became everything. And then once I got everything, it was like I gained nothing. Like what they say.
Yeah.
I mean, you gaining something.
Yeah,
To me,
retrospect, but
I
not
don't know.
really.
I see that in a different aspect.
Yeah, talk about it.
Like, for what profit is it into a man if he gained the world
And
and
lose
loses his soul? The world, what's in the world? Everything.
Everything.
Riches, cars, girls, money. It's just, you got to think about how they say all these rappers or star athletes, whoever, they sign their life away. But at the end of the day, what are they losing? Their soul. So they're not going to be able to inherit what he has to offer them.
You ain't gonna do nothing.
You know what I'm saying? So you're losing your soul over the satisfaction of the world, which is what they pretty much say the devil offers you. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that because you like shoes, you ain't losing your soul over shoes. You know what I mean? You might have a shoe collection, but that's not you losing your soul over it.
Yeah. But I used to feel like what I owned, like for example, nice clothes, nice shoes, would give me my worth. And that's probably another conversation. But I think that like my pursuit of happiness was found in what I could purchase or what I had gained. And I think that's where I lost value with God, because all along God was telling me that like your value is not wrapped up in all these things. And I was losing the better part of why he created me. Right. And I think like, I think we've all been there. Like if you come from the streets, then well, think about it. It's like the first thing you do when you land a rack is it's either a chain, it's either rims, it's either clothes, and then it's the party, it's something. Like that's
something
just
to satisfy that freaking itch.
Yeah.
But you hear a lot of people saying too, oh, I'll die for that. That's probably what that means too. A lot of people willing to die for something that means little satisfaction for a minute.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But why is it that a lot of men chase those things? They chase royalty positions. I think from a Christian perspective, because we were made from a royal God.
Right.
And I think
we're chasing that position.
The Bible says that, like priests and kings, you know what I mean? But I mean, God's the ultimate king, but like we were made to be leaders and stuff. So I think it's like in our DNA
to want to have that,
to pursue certain things. We come from royalty, so things that shine, right. like we're like, man, we're supposed to be on the grind. We're supposed to have this, and we're supposed to have that, because the Bible talks about like if a man don't work, a man don't eat.
Correct.
And so it's like, okay, well, let me put the work into this land.
Yeah.
And I'm about to eat, and
that's it.
I think we don't put the right work in
to gain the right profit.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I don't know, but I think that verse could be interpreted in many different ways. Because there's a lot of different ways you could gain the world and lose your soul. That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just how I see it.
Yeah. Not even like materialistically speaking. You could, the fun of the world can definitely have you lose your soul.
Correct. Because you can get wrapped up in all that. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not going to be thinking about nothing else but the fun of the world.
Yeah, the pleasure, right? The pleasure gets you all twisted up and like, yeah, I'll sell out for a good time.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much true.
Hey, what did Pitbull? He played that song. I know my rent's gonna be late, but I'm about to have a good time.
Yeah. Like the Apple Man.
He wasn't lying. Like
Apple Man got hired.
Yeah. Right. Like these rappers, they ain't lying when they're talking about this stuff. Like that comes from a deep seed inside of them.
Like, damn, I did do that.
Yeah.
But he just like, I ain't the only one doing it, so he's just gonna make some money off of doing it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put a beat to it and let everybody else rock with me.
Right. That's great.
It's crazy because I think about like artists and stuff, like rappers. I mean, they're singing from a place of some kind of connection to their songs.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they've taken the bait somewhere along the line. Like I've taken plenty of bait. I ain't gonna lie. Like when I was in the world, I was just straight up in the world, and like those devils try to come back out and entice. So you know what I mean. So, but the Bible clearly tells us, what does it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his soul?
Not a thing.
You know who that reminds me of? You guys remember the story of the rich young ruler?
Solomon?
Nah, he was asking Jesus. He was like, "What must I do, good teacher, to inherit the kingdom of heaven?" Yeah. He's like, "Sell all your possessions." Like,
he didn't want to do that. Yeah. He was like, "Nah."
Yeah.
He didn't want to give up everything.
Yeah, some people don't, but it's better to give it up. You know what I mean? Because it's not even yours anyway. It's all his. All the possessions are his anyway.
I guess it means like it could also how corrupt you'll be.
Oh yeah, for real.
Look at what happened with them Deuteronomy and them that gold calf. You know what I mean? Like he told him not to do it.
No, they had him running around the fire when he dropped the commandments.
But this is what I'm saying. He told him not to worship no other gods.
Right.
But he knew they were going to, so he had to set them boundaries with that 10. You know what I mean? And then they started worshiping that calf, and what happened? They all started going crazy and losing their life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So the rich young ruler. So this is the text. He's chopping it up with Jesus, found in Mark 10, and he goes. He says, as he was sitting out on the journey, a man ran up to him and knelt before him and asked him, "Good teacher, what shall I do so that I may inherit eternal life?" But Jesus said to him, "Why do you call me good? No one is good except God alone. You know the commandments: do not murder, do not commit adultery, do not steal, do not give false testimony, do not defraud, honor your father and mother." And he said to him, "Teacher, I have kept all these things from my youth." Looking at him, Jesus showed love to him and said to him, "One thing you lack, go and sell all your possessions, all you possess, and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven, and come follow me." But he was deeply dismayed by the words, and he went away grieving, for he was one who owned much property. So like he had good behaviors. Like he had good behaviors, but he didn't want to give away his possessions and follow Jesus.
God mentioned the poor.
Oh yeah, it's in there.
Right. Because they give up anything, they'll give whatever.
Give to the poor.
Give to the poor.
Because he knows that if I don't know, I've been around a lot of homeless people. I've done time with homeless people that used to be homeless.
Yeah.
They're the first ones to come and be like, "Here,"
For real.
without even thinking. Because they're like, "Look, I got this, but I'll split it with you." Or, "That's my last one, I'll give it to you." Because they know in all reality and cycle, it's going to come back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're not going to go a whole 24 hours without having something else. You know what I'm saying? So the person that has the most, that doesn't see past that, thinks, "Oh, I got to hold on to it because I don't know when I'm going to get it again." But whenever you're used to not having something, you got something, you know how fast it comes.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when you're used to having and holding, you're not going to see that. It just comes and comes and comes.
I know when I first started reading that, in the beginning stages,
Yeah.
man, I gave it just did something to man, I got all this. I just started giving shoes away. Like 140 of them just here, bro. I don't care what you do with the receipts in the box. I don't care what you do with it. I don't care. It's just something I gave away so much just because that's how I felt. That's just, you know what I mean? I knew some people didn't have what I had.
Right.
So I was like, here, whatever it was, hats, shoes. Like, especially, I used to wear a lot of, cookies, a lot of ungodly, you know what I mean? I just gave it away brand new here. Whatever it was, here. I give it off my back here. Because that one right there, some people don't want to do that. They're like, "Nah, I work for this. I'm going to keep it." You never know. Somebody might
need it more than you.
They might need it more than you.
I think this is a good story, and of course we're paraphrasing a little bit, and also this comes from the text. But I think this is a good story because it shows a person who thought they can earn a place next to Jesus or earn some kind of blessing from heaven by having good behaviors. And it's like he's missing the whole point. Is like, this isn't modification behavior. All this stuff comes from the heart.
Right.
If you can't do it from the heart, and if your attachment is to everything else but me, then it's just a bunch of noise. And I think this hit home because there's things that all of us in life we don't want to give up because we just feel
have that much attachment to it.
We have attachment to
we don't know how to do without that.
Right.
Yeah.
Like a lot of our life have just been dealt around that, and to lose that, it's gonna feel like off balance.
Yeah, and the treasure was right before him. Jesus was the treasure.
Right.
And he still walks away from the treasure.
Some people do.
Like,
Yeah, of course. There people
Look
do
at
all
how
the
many
time.
events we do where people
No,
just pop
people-
out.
I've
They
done
don't
it.
get prayer,
I've done
though.
it.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
done it too.
Yeah,
All
I
the
walked
time.
away. I walked away from
I still
great
do it
blessings.
sometimes. I ain't gonna lie, I still do it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I ain't perfect.
Yeah.
You don't think how many times I've been hearing, oh, God this, God that, okay. That's all I say is okay.
Okay.
But I know,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I know, like, what I know with him, you feel me?
Right, right.
And I mean, I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I forget to pray, sometimes I forget to say thanks, sometimes but my body, my soul, my heart lets me know when I've gone too long without that.
Yeah. You feel it, right?
Right,
You
like-
feel the depravity.
Right, and it's like, okay.
That's what it is. You feel the depravity. I be feeling the depravity too when I'm
And-
distant from
and
God.
even the most famous pastor you know is probably doing the same thing. Yeah. But he just has that discipline to understand it at that moment when he does it.
And on top of that, he probably has the community help.
Right.
So that the pressure from the community too, it can really help a person or it could drive people away.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
I wish I didn't go that long without praying or saying thanks, but sometimes I feel like my mind is just so caught up in other dumb stuff that I do. And it's not because I want to. It's just that's the norm to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's not what I mean.
It's like that with us, what he's saying. I just got so normal praying that when I don't do it, it's like,
There
like
it
I
is.
missed something. Man, what happened? Why not? Especially when I don't go without praying or reading now, it gets like, man, let me get a little something, man.
Yeah. It's just
For
the
real.
normal. It's just
I feel like I gave the world so much. That, man, least I could do is what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I gave it so much.
But I think that's what makes us different from the world is that when someone talks about God, you know, there's a conviction or there's a certain kind of feeling attached to it. Because if you know who God is, you know, you're not going to completely dismiss him.
No.
You're not going to completely dismiss him. You may lie to yourself and say, oh, yeah, I'm going to dismiss God. But on back of your head, whatever you're going to go do after, you recognize that God got your attention or whatever. On back of your head, you honestly know. In order to escape God when you belong to God, is you really have to be intoxicated or you really have to be tipsy or whatever to really escape God. But when you belong to God, man, and when you feel God, like you have to work in order to get away from God.
Yeah.
You have to work because the thickness of God's presence around you and what you know by knowledge, it'll mess you up. Yeah. Like I've tried to run away from God before and man, it was hard. It was hard because it was like, you know, he was right there at the door. He's still
Every
knocking.
time you try to run somewhere home, boom, there he is.
Man.
Run the other way, boom, there he is.
I remember one time I was so mad that I was like, man, I'm just whatever. And then what do you call I looked at my phone and it was nothing but Christians on my I was so detached from the world that I looked at my phone and said, man, I'm just gonna go hang out. And it was nothing but Christians.
I've been looking at my phone like, why am I gonna hit this person up?
I got options on. You looking at
not
your
even
phone?
options. It's not even options. It's to the point like, what benefits this person from me? Not in a bad way, but I'm trying to gain something different than what I'm used to. I'm not trying to go back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real. Ain't
Like-
nothing
like-
good over there.
Like if I know the person I'm gonna hit up is gonna put me in might not even want to put me in a position, but I'm gonna be in an environment where I can mess up. Why am I gonna hit you up?
For real.
Yeah, so the Bible talks about when I was a child, I thought like a child, you know, walked like a child, you know, that kind of thing. It talks a little bit about that. But now that I'm older, you know, the perspective's larger. Like the perspective's greater now that we're older because we know that no one else has to walk in these shoes.
No, sir.
So it's like you almost got to be, to a degree, you almost got to be like selfish with your moves in a way. You got to like really take care of yourself.
Selfish with your time.
Yeah, you got to be like, okay, I'm going to be a better investor. Like, you know,
yourself.
I don't think there's nothing wrong with, you know, having a season where you're like, I got to detach in order for me to attach to something else.
Yeah.
I don't think there's nothing wrong with those kind of seasons.
I've detached since I've been out, and I got a couple people mad at me because of that.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, if you're really my friend, don't you think you should be happy I detached from something?
Right.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, you want to see me continually spiral down a hole. You should be happy I fucking caught myself. Excuse my language, but you should be happy I caught myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And had to step back a little bit and see the bigger picture.
Yeah.
I knew when I stepped back, when I came out, I just realized who was there. And all I had was homies. I didn't have family. So it was like, it was different for me when I came because it was like, okay, I already know where I'm going. I already know. I told parole, POs, and just shoot me back. I'm not going to make it. I didn't have, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's different for me. Like when you talked about what you talked about from
Like
detaching to God, when I detached, bro, I told you what happened. I detached, went to Kansas City, got popped. That's all I knew was the street. That's all I knew was just being around. I didn't know nothing else. Work what? I didn't know how to do that. I felt like what we say back in the day, man, that was a weenie for working, but that's really what we were supposed to do. So even when I detached, it cost me something. It's going to cost you something. On both sides, it's going to cost you something. You're going to lose something from both sides. Because now I'm over here doing good. My family still don't, so it's going to cost you something.
But at the end of the day, I'd rather do something for both sides than do something what's inside me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just me now. I thought about that too long.
But you know what? Mara, you in a place, I feel like you're in a place in life where you still got people that still like, you still got that street credit, that street vibe that like people will be like, oh yeah, it's the homie Mario, and they feel like they can move and groove with you. And but that's not like the healthiest move.
It's not.
And so it's
Don't get me
like
wrong, I have since I've been home. I moved around a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's not the same to me. It's
different.
I need something. I'm looking for something different. I feel something in my body that's not what I want no more.
Hey, we did it for so long.
You know what I mean? That's not what I want. Like, my whole mindset was in a whole different aspect. But then I came home to what it wasn't. So now my mind and my body is adjusting to what I really need to be. And being out there, running around these streets, it don't fit right with me no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's God at work, and that's cool right there. So why do you think that, like, putting yourself back in the perspective of being on the other side, why do you think the conversation about God hits different when people are on their deathbed or threatened in a life situation? Why does the conversation or the subject about God hit different for them?
Because they're vulnerable.
What you think?
I feel like eventually your soul longs for that. Eventually. You're going to go so long and be like, well, let me just see what Jesus is like.
Yeah.
I already know what this is like. I already know what this can do. I already know what this, you know what I mean? Let me see what this is like.
Yeah. I mean, I think about
Because look at what's his name, that dude, Anton LaVey, the devil worshiper dude.
the guy who kind of the satanic dude. Yeah,
He said, I gave that so much time, but I should have gave all that time to Jesus on his deathbed. So at some point, reality's going to knock.
Yeah.
Okay, well, okay. Or I believe if you write the wrong checks, like I wrote a lot of checks. God, you get me out of here, I'll serve you. Boom, back to the street. God, I don't want to be in this position. You get me out of here, I got you. Boom, back to. You're gonna write so many checks before he's gonna put you in a spot where you're gonna have to live all that out, or you're just gonna reject him, and then you already know what happens with rejection. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, because I think about that. Like when I do hospital visits or whatever, you know what I mean? Like people that are on their deathbed, the conversation about Jesus hits differently, and the tone of voice and the tone of urgency is like, man, I wish. Like I feel like a lot of old people have a lot of regrets.
Yeah, because
like
they waited
even
too long
me
to get Jesus.
Like even me, I feel like I have a lot of regrets, and I'm barely 33. And I'm like, man, I wish I did this different, or I wish I did that different. Like you really don't have to be that old in order to know what a regret is.
Right.
Like people on their deathbed, but they have like a super strong regret. Like, man, I should have got myself right with God before I got to this position.
But you had a whole lot of time to do so, but you were worried about what are they doing? What do they got going on?
God has a time for everybody.
Right.
Whether, as long as you got a breath in your lung to accept him, and your heart's still beating for you to acknowledge from your heart, you're gonna be saved. He doesn't say, "Oh, you need to accept me and ask for salvation and live like that every freaking day." Like, we're gonna slip. Well, like it says right there in Romans, we all fall short of the glory of God every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And just that was that person's time to get close to God, because God wanted him. And God knew that was the only time. Like, God dented those seeds in him. Boom, boom, boom. But at his deathbed, that was the only time he knew he was going to be able to get clearer to him, because ain't nothing else bothering him.
Yeah. But
I don't know. That's how I see it.
yeah. Like people, though, like on the world, like on the other side of this microphone, is a bunch of people that when you talk about God to them,
They want to run.
they run away from the conversation. They're not open about
They're
it.
comfortable and they're living, and they don't see that in any split second, walking down that street, turning from that conversation, they get hit from a bus.
Yeah.
But not saying we got Metro bus out here, but
Yeah.
it's a metaphor. I mean,
Yeah.
how many people you spoke to, and next thing you know, they dead? That happened to my homie. I was on the phone. I called him. He was supposed to come pick me up. On the way to come pick me up, that fool, he went on another little side road. He went to go do something else real quick. Yeah, ended up getting hit 120 miles an hour. I never, never was able to speak to him again. That's just things that I've experienced in my life to tell me, like, okay, time ain't promised. I mean, like, time don't wait for no man at all, period.
Yeah, for real.
Doesn't matter who you are, where you are, just, it's your time, it's your time. You put yourself in a position, that's on you.
It's real.
Yeah, for real.
That's real. Yeah. So we done hit on text messages, Quiz Mario. We done hit on the rich young ruler. We done hit on what is a profit of man to lose his soul, but yet gain the world. We done talked about why the conversation hits different for people when they're on their deathbed. You know what I mean? So let me see if I can think of another quote real quick. There's a scripture where it talks about that a dog returns to its vomit.
Mm-hmm.
And so like sometimes we're like that dog that, we may have thrown up and walked away from the vomit, but for some reason we go back to it. And I don't know, what's that? How does that speak to you, that scripture?
I mean, I guess it's right, because we throw everything away, like throwing it up. Like, we leave it there, like that's a trash pile. So we're gonna come back and scuffle through the freaking trash again. Maybe we're gonna find something different. That's the same thing. You know what I mean? But in our minds, it's the same thing, and we threw something away we didn't want. Threw something up that we ate that we want again.
That's crazy, It's disgusting when it's put that way.
Yeah.
But look, we don't see it that way. But God's showing us that that's what it is. That's what the action is.
To him, that's how disgusting.
Yeah, like we don't see it that way. We're like, oh no, we're just gonna go back to a fun moment. But in the spiritual perspective, it's like, no, you're going back to dirty vomit.
Yeah, you're going back to trash. You're going back to dirty vomit.
That's crazy. Like, that's how God sees it. That's not like how we see it.
Because
that's how He sees it.
Like, our sin has a stench to Him.
That's how dirty it is, huh?
Yeah, that's how holy and pure He is. Like, to where I could cuss walking down the street, and that's the only word I'm gonna say, and it might smell worse, like a fart.
Yeah, but it's like innocent to you. It's like innocent to you, but to him, it's like, man,
that stinks.
It's filthy rags.
That's nasty.
Yeah, that's crazy, huh? Like how God be seeing things, and how we're really not on His level.
No, we won't ever be.
Yeah, we're really not on God's level. Yeah,
never be.
Yeah, so like we could think that we're doing the most innocent thing in the world, but to God, it's not always like that. That's not holy and pure, and that's why we need a sufficient sacrifice, a sufficient atonement that could hold peace between us and God, and that's through Jesus Christ. Yeah, so I'm cool with Jesus. I'm cool. I need that. I need that sufficient sacrifice. I'll take that.
I accept Jesus, but just like
Mo
3 said, sometimes I do the devil dance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you never know what you gotta do.
Yeah.
I mean, but I don't choose to do. But I feel like that's what I need to do.
I think what you're trying to say is that I accept Jesus for what Scripture says he is, but I also feel
Do my own
unworthy.
thing.
I wouldn't say I'm unworthy. Because if I felt unworthy, then I wouldn't have the opportunity to have him come knocking at my door. I just feel like, I don't know, it's a deeper conversation, I guess.
No,
so
that
I
is-
don't really
that-
wanna
that's
get
it.
into.
It's a good conversation because,
Right.
I think it's okay to feel unworthy.
Oh,
It's just,
Because think about this. Think about going to God in your own fleshly confidence. Like, God, I deserve you. But you know you really don't deserve him.
I mean, I ain't doing all
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Like, I'm not going to go up to God and be like, I deserve this. I deserve that. I deserve that. Like, that would be like stupid of me to
Right.
tell him what I deserve.
Right.
When he's known my story from beginning to end. He's like, no, I know what you deserve.
you deserve
It'd
what
be
you get.
dope to see us at
This
our,
is great
at our
what I'm gonna
finished
give you.
stage to be like, dang.
Yeah, yeah. Look at
Because he sees us as like,
yeah, from start to finish.
yeah, it'd be dope to just get a glance like,
Yeah.
is this what? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think it's okay to understand that, like, yeah, I think people are scared to say I have a stronger commitment to God because you know you're imperfect. And I get that.
Or just different environments. I was around certain people that were like, God is weak, God ain't nothing. Da, 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 da. But when I come over here and I read, it's like, nah, he ain't none of that.
Yeah.
He's none of that. I just
That's
think
crazy.
people are scared of commitment
Yeah.
and really like surrender for real. Like I had to surrender for real.
Hey, that's like marriage, bro.
Cause look at what happened.
Hey, bro, that's like marriage.
just
Check,
look
check,
right.
check,
You gotta
check
be
that out.
committed, right?
Yeah, you like you be dating a girl for 20 years, and then you're like, no, I ain't gonna ask her to marry me. But you've been dating her for 20 years, bro.
Right.
It's the
So just get
commitment.
committed.
It's the commitment. Like this. You've been talking about God for 30 years, and you've been going to church off and on. Like, why don't you just make the commitment? Why are you torn between two opinions?
Right.
And I
It's
think
not
that
gonna
I think
work.
that's where people are at.
Yeah, because it also says don't lean on your own understanding. If we do that, then we're really gonna be in a wreck.
Man,
Sometimes I don't understand.
that's honest.
But I still act like
I mean, look
do.
at what's going on
That's
now,
honest.
bro. Look at
I don't
what's
understand
going on.
everything fully too, but yeah.
I don't understand a lot of things.
I didn't understand either until I started opening my Bible and reading. Then it was
Sometimes
like,
even the things
okay.
I read in the Bible I don't understand.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just real life. I don't understand a lot of things.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean I know what I'm going through at the moment.
Right.
I don't understand what I'm going through at the moment.
Yeah, you just don't give up though because
Right.
you don't understand. Yeah, I feel you,
Right.
bro. So,
But I have to act like I understand just to get by. I don't know if you guys understand.
pump yourself up.
Yeah, because sometimes if you don't understand and you let yourself know you don't understand, that's when you fall down.
Well, I think
Yeah, for
you're saying something very biblical. I think you're saying what you're doing is you're doing what David did when no one else was around. He encouraged himself in the Lord, and you got to have self-talk.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
You got to talk to yourself sometimes in a
Yeah.
healthy way, and you got to be like, "Hey, bro, it's time to get up."
Yo. I mean,
Hey, it's time
had
to get the
do that.
grind.
I had to do that.
I had to do
I
that
ain't
too.
even gonna lie. I had to do that last week, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
I found myself falling back into some kind of position where I didn't want to be ever again, and I'm like, hold up.
yeah,
I had to stare myself in the mirror again.
yeah. And that's why the Bible says, "Work your own salvation out
Right.
with fear and trembling, for it is God at work in you."
Right.
And that's the God working in you that's pushing you. Like, he's not giving you wrong advice. He's telling you get back up. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, we got to talk to ourselves. We got
Yeah, I had to.
Yeah. Like, all right, look, I don't
time
want
to
to go
sit
to work. Time to get up.
Yeah.
I
had to tell
t-
myself
I had
plenty of
to
times, it's time
put
to sit
myself
down.
around new people.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for you guys.
Well, I love you, bro.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because, like, I didn't.
Even with him, I told you, bro, the streets are watching. And look at what I had to do for them to be like, hey, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Bro.
Even though he don't go, I'd rather him be with us than just be roaming around doing who knows.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's why I love the street ministry we have, is because we're not necessarily a church, but we're connected with a strong brotherhood. Like if we all want to go somewhere, we can hit up each other. And like, yeah, it's not like this isn't like some kind of religious faculty where we're like, you know, we're exercising preaching on each other. No, we kicking it. We talking about real life situations, and we're like, okay, what's the next move? Because everybody at this little table right here, around this little table, is at different seasons in life. And we respect that. We understand that, you know, some of us been doing it a little bit longer. Some of us just been dabbling in it and all that. Like, so everybody that comes on the podcast is always at different seasons.
Yeah.
I've had people at great seasons just sharing their heart with me, and me just sitting down and being a learner, like, oh yeah, bro, teach me how that goes. Yeah, I mean, so that's why I love this this podcast format, because this is something you could look back on 20 years from now, 10 years from now, and be like, remember I did that podcast? Where was I at? Oh, yeah. I remember that season. I remember that season. Yeah.
That's good, though. That's what these are for.
Yeah, so this is good. We're gonna edit this up.
Whoever's
And
listening, grateful for you.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm just grateful he's here, bro. You know how long it's been since I seen dude? I told you
Yeah.
when I first met you, now you see it. And it happened to be your family, not just a random homie.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm at that
That's a
stage.
shame on me.
me, I'm at
You
that-
talking to a family member that I should be talking to. That's a shame on me. I should be reaching out to
It's all
him.
good.
happens, bro. It happens.
It's all good, though.
It happens.
But,
That's a shame on me.
you know,
Nah. Look, because where we at?
where are we at?
Yeah, we here.
We're at
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So,
No shame game. There ain't no shame game.
nah, ain't no shame in the game. Ain't no shame.
Yeah, but that's cool. See that's what I love about.
Because I'm at the season right now where I'm like,
And you
Even
got
though-
you.
even
Hold
though-
on.
even
And
though you
this
don't
dude,
wanna-
this dude got a bunch of giants in the spirit
Oh, yeah,
in
yeah.
his family.
oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, yeah. See, I
like
didn't
you got
know that.
pastors.
I
you
didn't
got
know
all
that at
kinds.
first
Like
'cause I never-
this dude got a
never
lot of
really-
people that go to
really
church on
go
his.
do the
Yeah,
thing.
See, with me and him, we never really did that until the other day.
yeah.
I was
yeah.
like, "Why you been? Why you ain't tell me?
Huh.
yeah.
For real? Like
He-
I
he
told him
ain't-
at the mall. Why you?
Mario ain't no stranger, bro.
Why you ain't tell me?
He ain't no stranger to.
You
the
probably
things
could have
of God.
saved me at some point. But he was just like going.
Because in my mind,
He wanted to still have fun with you back then.
Yeah.
If I start talking to you, hey, if I start talking to you about the Lord, I'm gonna lose my
lose
fun.
my friend, lose my fun.
Now look where
Somebody
we
got to
are.
pay for the drinks.
Look where we at. Now where we at? Yeah, where we at now? You know what I'm
Somebody got to pay for
saying?
this.
Where we
You know
at
what I
now?
mean?
But
So,
look,
like I said, I'm at that point where the homies are watching. Look at what Rob's doing.
there's a time for
Obviously,
everything.
it's a time and everything. Rob done. Man, let me see what. Man, you don't gotta really. Eventually, you're gonna surrender just being around us. I was just being around certain people,
Yeah.
and look at the wave that happened.
Different kind of family.
You really gotta surrender to this
Yeah.
thing. God, I can't do this without you.
Hey, props to Mario for jumping on the podcast. I felt like I had to warn him, like, hey, you know this is gonna be a Christian podcast. And he was like, no. Like, hey, bro, this we gonna even have a sign that says "Minutes with God" up there. You know, he's
That's why I
like,
had to say school my language.
yeah.
Well, I understand. I respect. I mean,
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
That's not the other one too. I got more that are curious too, but I don't mention no
Yeah.
names because
Yeah, out of respect.
But a lot
you know
of them
how it
are
is.
still like, man, what's going on with you? You ain't. A lot of them ask me when they see me
Yeah.
where the packs at, where the guns at. Like, bro, I don't got that. I don't do that no more. This is what I do.
Yeah, it's funny, bro. Yeah.
I keep you in prayer. You know what I mean? We could kick it. We could talk. We go out to eat. Just so you don't have to be in that atmosphere. Because some people just want to be around the.
Something different.
Yeah, they just want to be around something different like I was. I wanted something different.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? So I'm at that stage where the homies are like, I'm at that stage where I could comfort them. Hey, bro, it's not all about that. Because I told him the other day at the shop, oh yeah, for all y'all people in Casa Grande, man, go to his mom's ice cream shop, get you some
Downtown
ice cream.
shop. Come through, get some ice
Downtown.
cream.
You know what I mean?
Everybody
But
looking for some work. J&E Fancy.
yeah, like we told him, like we had a conversation, like
Landscaping.
we didn't know no better at the time. So now that I know better, you don't got to do that. You don't got to move like that. It's better over here. You don't have to feel like I got to do this to be.
Yeah. No, that's
Eventually,
cool.
just
I
being
invite,
around.
I invite all the homies.
Yeah, me
like,
too.
You know, I talk to all the homies too that I run like in the store from the neighborhood or whatever. I'd be like, man, let's chop it up a little bit. They know where I stand, and you know what? They have more respect because I've been consistent.
Yeah.
But I also tell them like, look, bro, I'll show you my imperfections.
Because
That's nothing between you and your relationship with God. Like if I do something wrong, like, you know what I mean, it's nothing for you to be bitter at with God. It's like you got to have a personal relationship, and I got to learn to navigate through my stuff just the same way.
Oh yeah.
You know, but it's a real
Personal
conversation.
relationships with God.
Relationships with
A
God.
relationship with Him, not with them.
I believe once you get a relationship with him, the people who are looking over the fence, you know, Mr. Al from, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be looking over the fence like, hey, what these
Just
dudes
put out the
doing?
Tim Allen.
Hey, did that? Hey, did that guy ever show his face?
No, he
Nah,
never
he
did.
never
bro.
showed his face.
Not in
Never.
one episode.
Not in
No.
one episode.
Oh,
Never.
look him
I
up.
mean,
I'm gonna look him up.
even if it's a like a mirror, they ain't gonna show his face.
It's always been like right
Yeah.
here.
So, bro, people are doing this at every event.
You know, we with some OGs when we talk about Tim Allen.
Nah. Oh, Andy,
But yeah, for me, it's just a blessing to have him here, bro. At least he's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
You know what I mean?
He knows you always
grateful.
welcome here, bro.
I'm just grateful to be around here, man. You gave me an opportunity to be on this podcast, even though I ain't never been on a podcast in my life.
This is new too. This should have been one of the new.
Very
New
new.
too.
It's very new. So
Yeah.
everybody that's watching or gonna watch, bear with us, or with me at least.
Yeah, yeah. No,
What
this
was that?
is this is cool. Well, let's go and close on that.
All right.
Hey, thanks y'all for jumping on with the
Thank
podcast.
y'all. Much love.
Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Share with somebody who needs to hear this kind of conversation. Tap in with us, and we'll love to bring you more
Hit me
content.
up, top it up.
Yeah.
Up.